And we're back. This is Daedalus speaking. And today we are going to do a little bit of work. So last time we built up our base, we made a little starter base. Today I think it's time that we start working on making our actual farm. For that, we're going to need lots of material, which I have already started a little project here. As you can see, I'm trying to grow some spruce saplings, which this doesn't seem to be working, so I'm just going to get rid of this. Don't need it after all. I'm just trying to make mega trees as it is, so that's unnecessary. Alright, and I'm thinking we're also going to lay out the groundwork for my main house, the place where I'm going to actually be storing my supplies. My storage area and my actual spawn point. So let's get to it. And first things first, we're gonna head back to the base. I made some wheat and I bred the cows too while I was getting things set up. So far so good, things are doing well. That iron finished up too. We had a really nice haul. I was able to upgrade some of my tools, which is always a good deal. I also did some working with my recording software to see if I can't finally get it to record the game sounds. So hopefully that works. Though I am noticing that I'm having issues with recording the actual weather. Well, beyond that, I just don't hear it at all. Which is disappointing to say the least, but what do you do? That's okay. So let's go ahead. And there we go. Got some nice trees. That one's going to drop quite a few saplings. So we'll do that one last. Alright. Now about... There we go. We'll use up what we have left of our stone pickaxe. This isn't how I normally like to harvest trees. But until I actually set up the tree farm itself, there's no point in doing it any other way. But yeah, no, I'm talking with Frio too. We're coming up with our plans for how we're going to approach doing sessions and such. Joking around too, his wife saying that if had I decided to do this solo, that if I ever made it big, they get 10% of those earnings, which of course I had to laugh. It's just funny to think about. But I love them. They're great friends of mine. I'm very proud to have met them. Been a lot of help for me, that's for sure. Especially with everything that goes on in the humdrum of day-to-day life. And Frio is especially helpful to me as a friend. But anyway, so I've already got a design in mind for the farm. It's going to be a multi-layered farm. I'm going to have everything growing in it. My sugar cane, my wheat. Once I have potatoes and carrots, I'll have that in there. I'll get my I'll even get my pumpkins and watermelon growing in there once I get that properly set up. And I've also been working on designs for my chicken farm, trying to find ways of automating it, which is always useful. If I can help it, I don't want to have to use fire charges to do it, but I'm trying to find ways to do it with lava. But I'm having issues with that. But well, that's half the fun of Redstone, is working out the bugs and figuring out why something isn't working when it should, especially when it used to. I suppose a guy could always just go on YouTube and figure it out from there, but well, that takes away the fun of Redstone, in my opinion. If I have to look it up to figure it out, then I don't like to build it. And yeah, that's more or less how that's gonna play out though. Once I get that figured out, I'll actually build it, and of course, once I start doing these as official videos, I will likely also release tutorials for how to build them upon request, which I think will be really fun. If there's one thing I enjoy doing, it's showing people how to do things, especially with my portcullis. My portcullis is my pride and joy. Granted, other people have already figured it out. I have to remind myself, but that's okay. It's still a robust design, and I finally am at the point where I can build it nearly completely by memory. It just takes a lot of dedication to make it work properly, especially if you decide to put it on a server, which it is server compatible. It just requires a little bit of tweaking with the timing. The thing with Redstone that a lot of people seem to forget is you have to look at it in the perspective of an engineer or an electrical engineer. Redstone behaves almost exactly like electricity, just a little slower, which makes it quite frustrating, to say the least, when it comes to troubleshooting problems. But at least you don't get zapped when you accidentally touch the wrong wires. We'll be seeing a lot of that as my projects go on. Eventually I'll make an efficient farm that is semi-automatic. I might even make something for gathering up crops quickly. Should probably also try to figure out how to make some sort of an automatic pumpkin farm. That would be kind of fun to have. I can honestly say I've never seen anything like that before. I'll see how difficult it can actually be. All you have to do is send a signal through the watermelon. I believe you can do that. We'll find out, that's for sure. And even if I can't, that's okay. That's part of the challenge, is figuring out what does and what does not work. Laptop doesn't like doing recording and Minecraft at the same time, unfortunately. But what do you do? Just keep on plugging along and hope to God I don't blow out my CPU. There we go. Well, let's go ahead and head back to base and sleep through the night. I feel like getting attacked by zombies, and since I don't have that set up to its most efficient level, well. Oh, I changed up the pen a little bit too. I changed it so there's lighting in there. Don't need mobs spawning in with my cows, even though they wouldn't really hurt anything in the long run. Moved everything upstairs, added a few things. I know this looks ridiculous, but hey, gotta save on space when you have a small shack for living quarters. And there we are. Let's go ahead and head back over. Gotta make sure to collect all the saplings. The more trees I have, the better off we'll be. Ooh, hello Enderman. Where'd you go? There you are. Still am using a crappy stone sword. I forgot to make an iron sword. Oh, he's gone. He disappeared. No, that's okay. We don't need to be messing around with an Enderman right now. After a while, we'll definitely have to get to the end. Fight us a wither, or a wither eventually too, the end dragon, which I will collect the egg. No questions about it. Anyway, I'm going to be right back. Alright, and we're back. You might notice that I'm nowhere near my base right now. I just realized in the process of my construction that I'm missing a material that I'm going to need for my build. Well, two materials, but there's one that I'm going to be hunting down later. I can make do with what I've got for now. Just means that it's going to be an incomplete build until after I do a little more exploring. So the two materials I need, and the one that I'm going to collect right now, is I need some dark oak trees for starters. So hopefully I can find some in a little while. The other material I'm going to need a lot of is clay, particularly white clay, because the build that I have in mind is I am going to build a Japanese pagoda. That is what's going to mask my farm. That way it's not just this random farm sitting in the middle of my base. And oh hey, there's some sheep. Cool. I'll have to remember that they are there, since I already killed all the other sheep that I had. And there were some more horses over there I saw. Anyway, so yeah, that's what we're doing right now, and of course not, I'm not that lucky. Hoping that would have been the forest I needed, but oh well. Such is the case. Oh, but hey, there we go. Luck is with us. There's one right there. So let's go ahead and collect some of that, try to get a few saplings, and I should have dropped off my materials that I had, but that's okay. I'm thinking I should be able to get what I need from these three trees right here. Fortunately, dark oak drops a lot of saplings when you get them, so that shouldn't be much of a problem. And for what it's worth, I do have enough room for this wood. That's why. Alright, let's go ahead and collect some saplings. But yeah, after this, and I'll probably do that off screen, I will hunt down a mesa biome, and we will go ahead and collect tons and tons and tons and tons of white clay. Unfortunately, that does mean I'm going to have to ruin the natural beauty of a mesa, which those are a particularly beautiful biome, especially when they're huge. But that's okay. Since I'm not going to be living near one, I should be fine. But then again, I could always just mine it out in such a way that I don't ruin the natural beauty of it. Oh well. It's all part of the game, that's for sure. So anyway, yeah. It's my least favorite thing to have to do, sapling collection. There we go. We're starting to get a few at least. Otherwise, there's really no way of starting up farms. Or at least not the farms that I like. The reason why I like to have logs like this, though, is because it's nice to be able to build my buildings, especially in contrasting colors. I don't particularly like it when build is made solidly out of one material. It's nice to have it so that it changes up a little bit. So for example, as you notice, well actually I don't think I showed that yet, but the corner posts of my pagoda is made out of spruce logs. And how about we do this? And I'm gonna have cross beams made out of the dark oak, which I think will contrast very nicely. give us something that looks really nice. Fortunately, now I'm going to be spending the night in the wilds. Some nice horses over here. Another location I'll have to remember. But yeah, anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and wait for these saplings, and then I will head back to the main build, where I will then start construction of the first layer. Give you guys an idea of what exactly it is I'm even trying to do. So yeah, see you then. And we're back. While I was away, I actually ended up getting hopelessly lost. Well, almost hopelessly lost. As you can see, I did manage to finally find my way back to my base. But it was a little disconcerting, to say the least. But back, and now we can actually begin to start the build. Alright, so here it is. This is the what the main frame is going to look like. I estimated that it's probably going to be about, the functional blocks are going to be about 20 tall. In other words, where the actual building is going to be. And I also realized that I was a little short on some birch, so on my way back I collected some of that. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started with the build. So the first thing that I'm going to do is, I've already set up this little water area right here, is I'm going to go ahead and build the central pillar, which we're already at 1, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Alright. And let's see if I can do this without accidentally killing myself. Hey, there we go. Perfect. Now, this isn't how I would normally build this, but I figured I'm going to, since I already have to do this a little bit differently than my norm, since I don't have any clay yet, I'm going to go ahead and try this method instead. I did expand it out a little bit too, so instead of going by an odd number, which I would have normally done a 13 by 13, I decided to go with, let me see here, 4, and then we have 8 in the middle there, that's 16. I have a 16 by 16 base instead. That way I could have a nice double door entryway into this building, which hopefully that works out nicely. We'll see what happens though. Oh, of course not. Alright, we don't need this anymore. Alright, so now let's go ahead and I'm going to start to put together the first floor to give you guys an idea of what exactly it is I'm trying to do here. So each floor is going to be 5 blocks tall. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a spruce here, and then we are going to do dark oak across like this. Spruce there, and then dark oak to here. Spruce there. I'm going to do this all the way around. Which yeah, we're at 5 high right now for it. Right? Yep. Okay. So let's go ahead and finish that. And once I actually have the build finished, you'll be able to see how these woods contrast each other. to really bring the colors out of both. If I ever build a log cabin, I am going to use the exact same method, where you use two colors of wood that are very close to each other, and you use that as a reference point. Something to just, like I said, to contrast each other. Actually, you can kind of see it right now, how they don't quite match, but at the same time, they match just enough. A nice little, a very subtle contrast, which I think is very nice. Now, you must be wondering, okay, well, that's all well and good, but why do you need the birch then also? Well, I will show you. First things first though, let's convert all this dark wood over. I am going to need a lot of half slabs. This build is going to be very heavy in half slabs. And I'm also going to convert over all that. And I believe if I just do this twice, I should have just enough birch to do that, to do the first section. Now we're also going to need some sticks, which I have too many, but that's okay, since I am going to need more. I'm going to need this. Okay, now what we're going to do is a pagoda has sectional roofs. It's built in a tier formation. In other words, there's going to be one layer, then there's going to be another layer that's the exact same as the one below it, another layer, then another layer, and then the top. I'm doing this as a farm, and I have it planned out where I'm going to have 4 fields built inside of this. So let's go ahead, and first thing, I'm going to put on this section like so. Oops. That's okay, mistakes will be made. So it'd be easier if I were up there. In fact, I put away my water bucket. Let's go ahead and we'll just get another. I specifically made 2 water buckets just for this. I suppose I could always collect that clay there and harden it, but this will do just as well. Alright, let's go ahead, climb up, and here we go. Now, the bigger I make these, then the bigger I'm going to be making these roofed sections. But for the sake of this build, I'm going to keep it a little on the smaller side to just show off exactly how this build looks. Now, this is not my own design. It was Frio who introduced me to this design first, and he learned it off of YouTube, actually. So if you're interested in learning how to do this design more, well, I suppose you could just pay attention to what I do and try to emulate it. Or, I'm sure you could find more detailed instructions. Now, to get down to the next level, you're going to want to put these planks on, just like so. And these ones can actually stay right where they are for the remainder of this build. They're not going to take away from the look of the build at all. It's almost night, so you can see I moved my bed over here so I don't have to worry about running back to my house as soon as nighttime falls. Let's go ahead and sleep away the night. Okay. Just about finished with this. Oops, there we go. There we go. Dark oak is starting to grow up nicely. Fortunately, I don't need as much dark oak as I do everything else. Let's go ahead and climb back up and put together the next section. Now, obviously, with this build, it's not going to be the most mob-friendly as far as preventing spawns from happening on the roof, and what a person can do for that is just use some torches to light it up a little bit. Which, that's usually what I end up doing anyway. Or, since these are half slabs and Enderman can't move half slabs, you can just leave it like this too, and not even worry about the mobs that spawn up here, because well, they're not going to really hurt anything. Unless it's a creeper and they blow up on accident. I'm probably myself going to be lighting this up a little bit, which I'm going to be doing in a very functional manner, actually. Alright, now I personally then add on one more tier down for this roof, and then I'm going to be adding a flourish, which I will show you how to do here just as soon as I finish this section. Oops, that does not go there. Oh, it's just wood. Easy to get. There we go. Now this flourish that I do is, like I said, it's completely unnecessary. It adds nothing to the functionality of the building. I just think it looks really cool. So I like to put it on my Japanese styles of build. And I like to use this when covering up farms because, well, it seems to fit. It fits just perfectly around farms. Oops, crap. And it's a nice way of beautifying your space, which I think is extremely important, especially when I'm playing on servers. If there's one thing that I love to do is I love to make sure I build a very beautiful base that's both beautiful and functional. Everything is there because it actually is going to do something for me. Whether it be my farm, an artificial village, so I can get villager trades, or even my house. My house also is going to have functional designs. In fact, when this farm is said and done, I'm actually going to have not only a farm in this, but I'm also going to build a mob spawning system underneath it, something that will extend all the way down to bedrock. If there's one thing I can't stand is when I have spawners like that, or mob grinders rather, that have lots of exposed animals, or not animals, mobs, which can just, and also the mechanics itself. I don't like having that stuff showing. I would much rather hide it behind something pretty. If I can't hide it underground, which, like I said, the main mechanics of that are going to be underground. But anyway, so now we're going to crawl back up top here. And now, if you wanted, this could be done right now. This is really all you need for this part of for this roof section. But it's not pretty enough for me. I mean, it looks nice, but it can look better. So that's what we're going to do right now. So this is what I do. I take this section right here, like that. I'm also going to go right here and here to make something like this. Now this is not done, because now all I have is just this big section of roof, which doesn't look very flattering at all. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to take off and hollow this out so it's an incline. It's going to be a gradual build-up to this. So what we're going to do first, we'll crawl back up. So we're going to be taking this out, and this out. We're going to be putting that block back. Then we're going to remove that and that. And both of these can come out. Now, in order to get that block back there, you're going to have to do a little bit of work. This can be removed too. And put that there. And there we go. Now we have a nice little flourish, something that is going to add to the look. I'm going to show you now what it looks like from below, which I think it looks absolutely fabulous. Collect up all that, don't waste material. And there it is. That's the flourish that I was talking about. Let's get a nice long side view of it. There we go. It's not much. You can actually do more with that if you wanted to. I know a few things that I like to do, but that's about all I usually do with it. Just adds a little bit of character to the build. So it's not just this solid mass. Well, let's go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and do the same with the rest of the corners. And I'll be back when that's done. Okay, and we finished that off now. So next we can start to do the stuff with the birch. I don't need that anymore. I'm sure some might be wondering, okay, well, why do you have this birch? Next, what we're going to do is we're going to go across the inside of the wall like this. Well, this is the outside of the wall, I should say, with the stairs, placing them upside down with them facing in towards the center, just like that. There we go. And one more. There. Done. That part is now finished, and then we're going to go through with these fence posts, just like so. And this is just to add a level of detail, something to break up the appearance of it, so that we don't have just this flat wall and these awkward roofs. This is going to help to really bring this build together as one solid unit. There we go. And we're out of material for birch right now, so I can't do that. Well, I guess I could. Let's go ahead and chop this tree down right now. Now for the doors, I find that the door that looks the most like a Japanese style door are the birch doors. What we'll do then is we'll replace these two grass blocks right here with the birchwood planks for a floor. And there we go. That's going to be our door. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to build the rest of the layers for this. And yeah, that's after that then I will start hunting down for the clay that we're going to need, which we're going to need a lot. This is a very clay heavy build. unfortunately. Which I went that way for the wood that I needed. So I'm thinking that I'm probably gonna have to go that direction for the clay, which hopefully that's pretty close by. Suck if I have to travel really far away to get it, but if I can't find it right away, well, I guess I'll make do with what I can find. If I have to, I'll collect clay from the river bottoms and use that. But I'd rather not if I can help it. It takes a lot more work. But yeah, you can kind of see right now, at least when you're standing on this layer, how the contrast of the colors works together. We got this nice bright white color here, the dark roof, a really dark roof, it's nice dark posts going through it that act as support beams, and then these nice lighter colored cross beams to help with the support. Once the whole thing is done, you'll see the inside too, and it's really gonna blend together very nicely into this beautiful, beautiful building. So yeah, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hunt down the material I need first. I'll try to find that clay first. And I will start harvesting a bunch of that, which fortunately I still have all these pickaxes. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do in the meantime. I will see you when I get that. Wow. That is a nice looking little mountain right there and a beautiful cliff. I'm definitely gonna have to do something with that. And it's not all that far away from my base actually. Oh, some rabbits too. I'll have to remember that. I'll come back here and get those little guys. Start up a nice little rabbit farm. It's one thing I have to figure out how to do actually is make a really efficient rabbit farm. Something where I can just breed a whole bunch of them and then kill only the offspring but keep my breeders. Wow, this is an impressive mountain, and I seem to have gotten myself into a bit of a quandary here. Oh well, we'll find a way. Well, unfortunately, the direction I went was a bit of a bust. I just got back to base, but it wasn't a complete bust. I managed to find some wolves, which I had managed to collect some bones on my way, and I tamed a couple of them. Already bred them once, as you can see. So yeah, we now have some hunting partners. They're gonna be very useful for now. But unfortunately, I broke my sword. So let's go ahead and take this as an opportunity to craft up a new one. I don't have enough arrows to really make this bow useful yet. But yeah, so that's that. That's what happened that way. I'm gonna pick a different direction now and try to go that way. Hopefully this time we find something. I'll be back when I show it. Well, yeah. I took along all the bones that I found because I figured, yeah, if I find any more wolves, that I'll get the rest of them. And yeah, I've run into 5 different packs of wolves, and yeah, now as you can see, I got myself my own little sled team. So, and some. So yeah, we're doing great. And in the meantime, then I'll continue my adventure. Hopefully, find something. Ooh, this is gonna be a fun little exercise. Let's see how my wolves do as a hunting group. Let's get these cows. That's hilarious. Alright. Well, that makes life really easy. Well, there we go. Life just became easy. Alright, well, I will continue exploring, but I still have not found a mesa biome. In fact, I keep finding the exact opposite of what I need. Yeah, I will continue with that, and I'll be back hopefully the next time when I actually find this damned mesa. Alright, well, I have not found a mesa yet, but I did find a swamp, so I'm going to take some time to collect up these lily pads, and I'm probably even going to just collect a whole bunch of clay from here. Might as well. Ended up with, like, I believe I counted 36 dogs, which, that's going to be a nice little hunting party for me. I'll definitely have an easy time taking on mobs now. So I'm going to end off the video here, and we'll continue the search for a mesa. I'll do that off screen after I finish collecting all these lily pads that I need. Anyway, this is Diedly, signing off.